Hey, what's going on, everyone? Matthew from therighttrader.com here, back today with another daily crypto update. As per usual, I'm going to be going over Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Ripple, Neo, Vertcoin, Monero, Omisego, and Lisk. All of those in that order in a more detailed technical analysis in just a second here. But first, I wanted to go over the general market and what's been going on with some of the altcoins. So as I mentioned in my previous video, Bitcoin has sort of been leading the market here, and that's definitely what's been going on today. It's down, about 1%, and the general market is sort of following its lead. Ethereum, pretty flat. Litecoin, very similar to Bitcoin. Relatively mixed, but no major moves here. There are a couple outliers, notably Vertcoin, that's up nicely here. Very bullish on Vertcoin, as you know. Komodo is also doing pretty well. I made a price prediction on both of those, actually. So you can go check that out in my cryptocurrency price prediction playlist if you're interested in knowing my more in detailed thoughts on those. I'll leave a link in the description and in the comments below. But, there's also NAV coin that's doing better than most here, up almost 15%. And this is one that's actually been sort of, a bit slow to move, but it's finally getting some traction here. And that is actually one of the coins that I was bullish on. So that's good to see as well. Now, as far as the, the main three go, Bitcoin was mostly flat here over the past couple hours. Ethereum and Litecoin had a nice spike, last night, but they didn't actually hold that sort of bounce, which, we'll have to see how that affected everything in the detailed technical analysis in just a second. But for Bitcoin here, as you can see, we got a very flat candlestick, so it's truly consolidation here. And it's holding the support levels that we wanted to see. So, about the 6,100 level. Obviously, we will want to see it break the high of today, which was 6,200, and then 6,300, where after that, it'll be pretty much a bullish confirmation, and we'll most likely see a move towards the 6,500 area, which I expect the market to then follow Bitcoin's bullish movement. But as far as the indicators go, RSI still uptrending, MACD looking very nice here, turning back over with the histogram. So hopefully that's sort of an early signal that we are actually going to move higher. Now, obviously, the Bollinger Bands are contracting a bit, so we might actually see a pullback towards this brown line, right, the middle band. As for now, though, we are making higher highs and lower lows. So as long as that pattern continues, there's no real concern right now for Bitcoin. It is still looking quite strong. Let's move over now to Ethereum, and let's see. So Ethereum, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to put that there. Okay, Ethereum's MACD is looking very nice here, and it's finally getting, this is pretty much starting to cross over now. So the blue line crossing above the orange line, which is definitely a bullish sign. Same thing with the histogram now moving sort of in the positive zone, and we're still in our symmetrical triangle on the RSI, but we are moving higher now. I think we broke above the 50 line, which is bullish. Without a doubt. So now we'll see, it might come and test this upper line, this downtrend line over here, and fall back down. We'll have to see how much strength is really in Ethereum right now. But as far as the candlesticks go in the price action, it's having trouble at this middle band, which is currently at $308, and that's sort of where it's getting a lot of resistance, right? It actually has quite a bit of resistance, even based on previous candlesticks in that area. So it's normal that it's struggling, but right now it's still making higher highs and lower lows after breaking out of this little range-bound area that was put in a couple of days ago. So that's a good sign, and it's finally seeing some bullish momentum. Now, there are quite a bit of resistance levels, like I said, for Ethereum with all these downtrend lines and stuff going on. So it might have, it might still struggle a bit and still bounce a bit in this inner triangle before really making a move where it'll have less resistance to deal with. So that's kind of what I would expect to see, but overall it's still looking, now much better than just a couple days ago, which is obviously a good thing. And let's move over to Litecoin. So Litecoin, as you can see, got that sort of spike and, got a sell-off afterwards, which is a bit of an inverse hammer candlestick, which isn't the best sign. Now, another not-so-great sign is the test of the RSI, sort of this uptrend line over here, that it actually failed, so it rejected that, and we did not make it back into the symmetrical triangle formation. Same thing, the RSI kind of failed to really get a stronger move and that's also the same on the histogram. Now, as far as the candlesticks go, it's also having a lot of trouble at this middle band, which is, that brown line, like I said, currently at $58 more or less. And we would definitely want to see it try to break above that, but more importantly now, we're really coming to the end of our symmetrical triangle, right? And what that means is we're now going to see a true decision on where Litecoin is going to break, right? Is it going to break to the upside or the downside? Obviously, we can see that there is, not a ton of strength right now. So we'll really have to see in the next day or two, where are we going to move? Are we going to push down and fall off to the downside? Or are we actually going to be able to get a breakout here and sort of test this sort of $65 area and even the $70 area, okay? But right now, it's early to tell, and it's really getting pushed down into the uptrend line, so hopefully it can hold that. We'll just have to see, though. Really, in the next day or two, we'll get a much better idea on where Litecoin will be heading. Now, moving over to Ripple. Let's see what's been going on here. So down slightly today, very flat candlestick. This is a pretty much doji candlestick right here. And what's good, though, I've really been liking the MACD movement on Ripple, where our histogram is now climbing up. We know we have a very big overextension, and it's hooking back over. Could see a crossover now in the next couple days. RSI is still not looking great, though, but we're in our symmetrical triangle formation here with Ripple. Now I draw this short-term downtrend line over here, and we can see that we actually held that support right over here today. So we're still extremely range bound, right? And the price action is not great. Our middle band is moving downwards, so that's also going to be a lot of resistance right there, and not the best sign. But we're right now, it's, to be honest, it is pretty early to tell where we're going to see a move. It's sort of like Litecoin. We're really going to have to wait and see now where it's going to make a more clear decision, because just in the past couple of days, it's been very range bound. And even if you go back further right now, we are pretty range bound. So we'll have to see, and there's truly some bullish signs and some bearish signs here. Like I said, I like the MACD. The RSI isn't looking great. The price action isn't looking great either. And the Bollinger Bands are also pretty bearish. So there's some good and some bad, but overall, we're really just going to have to see now, where is it going to make a decision, especially after this doji candlestick. And now let's move over to NEO. Let's see what's been going on here. So, okay, well, some great news for NEO today. This is what I wanted to see, and it's up about 4% now after breaking out of its symmetrical triangle formation. MACD should cross over in no time here. We're now back into the RSI area, symmetrical triangle, and we'll probably break out of that as well to the upside. So if you haven't been watching my daily crypto updates, what I've been saying is NEO has had a lot of trouble breaking out of this downtrend line, right? And it's been trying and trying and trying, as you can see, but it got some weakness and really started testing it almost too many times. So I thought that it might completely fail and mess up, but I said that if we are able to really get a nice break above the downtrend line, that's going to be a very bullish sign, right? Especially after the amount of times it tested it. It's really going to move to the upside, I think, now that that's out of the way. And this is definitely a clean break of this downtrend line, which is good as well. So now I think we're pretty quickly going to move up to, sort of the $35 area, test that, and see how it acts around that. But, this could be the beginning, the very beginning stages of a move that might take, a couple weeks or something, but could see it go back now to the all-time high. And, yeah, it is very contracted as far as the Bollinger Bands go right now, so it may have to take a bit of time before it can really get the strength to start moving up higher. But this is definitely a very bullish sign for NEO, so no complaints there. Moving over now to Vertcoin. Everybody's talking about Vertcoin, and I think I was one of the first ones to really start talking about it, a couple weeks ago, and everybody has jumped on the bandwagon now. I've been very accurate with my price predictions with this one, as you all know. So if you haven't been watching the videos, these red lines are the support levels to pay attention to, and the pink ones are the resistance levels to pay attention to, okay? These are based on the previous, all-time highs and stuff and the lows back a couple years ago. But if we look into what's been going on right now with Vertcoin, we can see that several bullish signs right now. So the first thing I'd like to point out is we had tested the sort of the 70 line, dip below that. We now bounced back above it, which is good. Now we are starting to fold back down, right? Which is normal after so much strength. The RSI is going to start losing its momentum, but the bounce above the 70 line, again, is a bullish sign. The histogram is still uptrending more or less. MACD just taking off. Same thing with the Bollinger Bands. Now, as far as the candlesticks go, which is really the best indication right now, big green candlestick after our pullback day, which was a good sign. We're currently below the close of 2 days ago and the open of yesterday, which is another good sign. Now, unfortunately, we didn't put in a higher high today, which is a little bit of a bearish sign. But to be honest, we did put in a lower low. So right now we're still fine, right? And as long as we hold this sort of $5.10 area, and of course then the $4.80 bigger support level, we're still completely fine, right? And there's a lot of people pouring into Vertcoin right now. So the next levels to pay attention to are going to be the high of today, which is $5.58. See if we can break above that again. And afterwards, the high that we put in just a while back now at $5.69. But after that, we're really going to come and test this 6 cents area. And I do expect us, like I said, I do expect us to make new all-time highs here in the near future. Now, obviously, there might be some pullbacks in between, but it looks like now we are really going to move, at least test the $6 area. We might get a pullback after that, but we're definitely, I think, going to test the $6 area, in the next week or two, in my opinion. Afterwards, we might get a bit of a pullback, like I said, but I do expect it to slowly climb up to its all-time high now. And, it's looking good. Everything, the strength is completely supporting the price action. So Vertcoin, is truly shining right now, and I think it's going to climb near the top 10 pretty quickly. That's what it's looking like, at least. So let's move over to Monero now. Let's see. So this is one that's been pretty range-bound. And today it is actually, let's see, I'm going to zoom in for you. Today we're up slightly, which is actually a pretty good sign considering the fact that I mentioned we were facing some trouble with the, we're now down slightly. Monero is very range bound right now and is facing a lot of resistance at this middle band, which is currently at 89 cents. So that's to be expected, and it's fully range bound still. Now, as I said, it's looking more likely that Monero is actually going to get a bit of a breakout and, might move towards new all-time highs than, falling back down to, this $55 area. So this seems like a more healthy type of consolidation. But the fact of the matter is, we're just going to have to see where it's going to break out of, right? Is it going to break to the downside or the upside? And right now, it's just too early to tell. Now, we did get 2 up days now, which is good. We'll see if we can really start climbing back up to, this upper Bollinger Band and see if we can get some kind of big breakout or something. But what's for sure is if we do get that, then, I think we're going to make all-time highs pretty quickly after that. So definitely something to keep an eye on is Monero, because whichever side it does end up choosing, it's going to be a pretty powerful move. And if it's to the upside, probably a pretty great money-making opportunity, in my opinion. Omisego. So Omisego not looking great. We broke out of this uptrend line pretty much completely now, and we'll see if we get a stronger collapse. We still have a couple support levels holding this, notably the low of $6.55. So around this area is going to be where $6.60. This range over here is going to be. We'll see if we can hold the support level, but if we break below that, we're going to start crashing here pretty quickly with Omisego, maybe down to $4.60, where we have another stronger support level. We'll see how it acts around that. But right now, I do expect to see a collapse, right, especially after breaking out of this uptrend line in a pretty clean way. RSI not looking great. We're completely out of our symmetrical triangle, moving that towards the downside now. MACD looking very flat. Otherwise, the Bollinger Bands and the middle band moving downwards here and acting like pretty strong resistance. So it's still holding on for dear life, if that makes sense. But I think we're going to see it really drop now. As soon as it comes and tests this initial support level, it'll probably not be able to hold it. At least that's what it's looking like right now, in my opinion. So let's move over to LISK now. Not looking great for MISEGO, unfortunately, and it's not the best sign, especially that there's now multiple multiple cryptocurrencies in the market that are actually doing well now, and that sort of seem to be regaining some strength and momentum. So the fact that MISEGO is actually failing during this time isn't the best sign. LISK, let's see. So LISK has been very, basically is holding the symmetrical triangle pattern very consistently, and MACD looking very flat, not giving us much information right now. Let's see, as far as the histogram goes, we're still uptrending, which is good. Now, this is another one where we're really just going to have to wait and see which side it decides to make a decision on. Is it going to be like MISEGO, where it dips below and might start getting a bit of a start falling off a cliff, or is it going to move to the upside? I feel like LISK is actually going to be like NEO and going to be able to break out here, especially after having two nice up days. We might see some strength finally coming back into LISK and really getting a nice breakout above the uptrend line. But with that being said, I appreciate you watching this video. This is the end of this daily crypto update. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I thank you for watching. Have a nice day.